I'm going to talk you through the proper routine for hitting at least 75% from the free throw line. Follow closely because I know you can do it. Number one, develop a routine and keep the same routine each time that you shoot free throws. Perhaps this routine will involve the number of times that you bounce the ball. A lot of players like to loosen up with taking 2 or 3 dribbles before they shoot. This sets the routine in their mind. It's important, whatever your routine is with the ball, to do the same each time. So remember, start with the same routine. The next is setting your feet at the free throw line. I'm left-handed, so my left foot is going to be slightly ahead of my right foot. This enables me, as the ball is released, to have my balance go forward on my left foot so that I can keep balance. Too often, if my feet are parallel, it jerks the ball off flight. So balance is important. Good routine, good balance at the free throw line. Next will be the position of the ball in my hand. I would like for you to take the ball in your hand in such a way that you can cock the wrist all the way back prior to the shot. Now you see that my wrist is back in a V-shaped form. I don't want to bring my wrist only partially back. I want the wrist all the way back prior to the shot. Next, I would like to keep the ball as much over my elbow as possible. So as I bring the ball up and cock my wrist, notice that the ball is basically over my elbow. All right, let's review this so far. A good routine, balance, and ball, hand, and arm. Notice the ball over the elbow and the wrist cocked. The next point in being a good free throw shooter is to keep your eye on the target, and to do so for at least 1 second prior to releasing the ball. So now that I have my balance, and now that I have the proper position of the ball over my elbow and my wrist cocked, my eyes are focused on the target for at least 1 second. I've paused, I'm in a crouch, the ball is over my elbow, and I'm just going to stroke the ball just simply up and out with my eye on the target. As the ball comes off my fingertips, it'll leave my first and second fingers last. And those 2 fingers will follow through at my target. All right, let's back up and cover this one more time. A very important feature if you're to shoot 75%. Develop your routine. Good balance at the free throw line. Perhaps 1 foot slightly ahead of the other. Next, ball, hand, and arm. Ball over the elbow, wrist cocked. And from that position, I'm able to eliminate excess motion when I release the ball. I take a slight pause, and I extend my elbow straight up with my guide hand on the side of the ball. The guide hand has nothing to do with the shot. It simply keeps the ball positioned on the shooting hand. Don't overcompensate as a free throw shooter by using your guide hand as part of the shot. Now as the elbow comes up and the ball is released off of these 2 fingers, I follow through with my hand and fingers pointing at the target. If you practice this enough, this technique of these points, I can assure you that you can shoot 75% or better from the free throw line. Let's see how our players adapt to these fundamentals that we've discussed. As we begin our free throw technique here, notice at the free throw line. 1 foot is slightly ahead of the other. The wrist is cocked. and the ball is already up in the shooting position. As the ball is up in the shooting position, please note that there's very, very little excess motion. The shot is simply a straight extension of the arm with the fingers going towards the basket in their follow-through. Now, a lot of you players that are watching this, I know from experience, are using too much excess motion. Notice these players, how simple the stroke is as they release the ball. Same routine each time. The wrist is cocked, and there's no excess motion, no swinging of the ball from side to side, no bringing of the ball behind the head. Eyes on the target. Same routine. Excellent follow-through.
Games are won or lost because of free throw shooting. Coach Helm covered all the fundamentals very thoroughly about good free throw shooting. So we're going to touch on just a few to remind you what it takes to be a good free throw shooter. Now let's look at our demonstrator. The first thing you want to do is get comfortable at the line. And when you do, you get comfortable, you get set. And let's take a quick look at him. Here he is set, all right? His arms are extended. He's got the ball out in front of him. His eye is on the target. He's got great balance. Look at his feet down here, okay? He's got great balance here, all right? Now, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and shoot the ball, okay? Here, he's got the ball up. It's cocked. Look at there. Look at the wrist. The ball is cocked. This offhand is just a guide hand. It doesn't do anything. Right here, the elbow, again, pointed down towards the ground, okay? And he's up on his toes because you want all your momentum to go forward. All right, let's see what that looks like when he follows through on the shot. Look at the backspin on the ball. I mean, that's great. And if you do that, you too can become a good free throw shooter.